What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about email lists. When you're building your online presence, as you're building your business, having your email set up and your email to message your customers and message your leads and warm your leads and build relationships is just as important as having a website itself. So today we're going to be going through how I set up my email lists. So I'm going to go get my computer. I'll talk to you guys in a second.
Okay, guys, so today we're going to be talking about getting your email list set up for your e-commerce store. And the reason why this is so important is because email is still one of the most personal, when done right, it's one of the most personal ways to connect with your customers. And so it has such a huge impact on your branding. It has such a huge impact on the feeling that people get when they order products from you, also whether they forget about you or not. So you want to be sure that you give your email strategy as much attention as you give to the way your website looks or the products in your store. You want to make sure that your email strategy is tight. And so today we're going to go through a tutorial on the basics of setting up Mailchimp and the basic types of campaigns that you want to set up. And so we have here, as you can see, we have my screen here, and this is the home page of Mailchimp. When you log in, this is the first thing that you see, and this is just a campaign view page. But before we actually create a campaign, what we're going to do is we're going to create a list. And a list is pretty self-explanatory. It's just a list of email addresses, and the way that you can capture email addresses, maybe your point of sale has it, maybe your software, if you use Shopify or you use WooCommerce, maybe that has it, a way to capture emails, or maybe you just have an Excel spreadsheet of customers, or maybe you have an address book that you've exported that you can import into your list. You have to create a list to be able to email people, and so that's the starting point. So let's click over to lists. And let's click on Create List, because you're going to create a new list. And they ask lists or groups. We're just going to keep it basic for this video, and we're just going to create a list. So let's click on the Create a List button. The list name is just a descriptive name for your list, so you can call it customers. And then the default from email address. Now, yeah, so let's talk about, so the next field is the default from email address. Now, this is just the email address where your account, that people will see the email that you send them is from. And it depends on your personal preference of how you want to set it up. You can set it up as something generic like admin or team or connect or something like that. I personally like, because I'm a small business, I like to set it up in a way that makes it feel more personal. So I usually use my email address. So if somebody decides that they want to respond back to this email, then it comes right to my email box, and I can see it and I can respond directly. Now, as you get a bigger team, maybe you have a customer support team that will handle it. This will probably change. But when you're small and you're starting out, either send it to support or send it directly from your email address. So I'm just going to do David at helloconvo.com, right? So that's my email address. And the default from name, again, this could be if you are a bigger company or your e-commerce company, you're doing customer support, you can just say customer support here. Why don't we actually go through it as we're emailing? So let's say support, and then we can say from customer support. So when a customer signs up as a customer, then the default email address that the emails will come from is your customer support email address, so that when they reply back in, or if they reply back in, then what will happen is that the response will go into the customer support email box. Now, that assumes that you have a customer support email set up. So make sure that you have that set up if you use support in this setting here. And then what they ask is you remind people how they signed up for the list, and you can just say customer of Hello Convo. Say Hello Convo is my e-commerce company. Now I usually kind of I don't use forms anywhere, so I just kind of like let's skip the form setting section for now. And notifications. This is basically just how often you want to. Mailchimp will send you personally an email whenever somebody signs up, and so you can set it up to get a summary of all the emails that sign up that day, one by one. So every single email which is added to your list, you get an email summary. And so usually, I don't usually do this, but you can maybe a daily summary because you don't want that just spamming up your inbox. So select daily summary if you want that setting. And there we go. We now have a customer email list that we'll then use in the future to send an email to. Now, the next step is, now that we have our list, we want to add customers to our list. So the way that we do that is we go to add contacts, add a subscriber. You can do it two ways. The first one is you can do it manually. So you can just say John Doe, John at helloconvo.com, and first name is John, last name is Doe. And maybe you don't have the address and all the information. You don't have the phone number, and you just select this person gave me the permission to email them, assuming that they gave you the permission to email them. And then the next step is, if this person is already on my list, just update their profile. So that's it. So we've just added one contact. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is you can import contacts. So if you have a CSV file or an Excel spreadsheet or just a list in a list in kind of like a text file or a Word document, what you can actually do is you can just cut and paste, or you can upload a file here. We're not going to deal with that right now, so because we already have created our list. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to just create a campaign. And creating a campaign, it's pretty straightforward. You click on the campaigns tab here, click on create a campaign, and what you want to select is first create an email, and then we can call it 4th of July sale. Right? And we select a regular email. So to who are you sending this email to? And we'll just select our customer list, hit save, and then from. And this will just say, okay, well, it takes the settings that we initially set before, and you can change this, but let's just use the standard settings that we have here. Okay, so they're making me verify this domain before we actually send it, which is fine. Why don't we use a Gmail account? Why don't we do that? Why don't we use growthstoryco@gmail.com. That's my other email address, so that way I won't have to verify it. But if you're using your own branded domain, then you're gonna have to verify your domain by they'll send you an email, and you'll have to confirm by clicking through that you own the emails on that domain. So click on save, and the subject can be, don't miss out this 4th. And the content, I usually try to keep it really simple with these email campaigns. So I really like text, and some people, you can get as fancy as you want to get, but I really like text. So the first thing I do is this section up here I usually get rid of because it's just like a preview that appears before someone opens the email. So I usually delete this section just because it's not necessary. And then when you want to edit this middle section is going to be the body. So what you want to do is you can write your email here. Hi there. Thanks for being a great customer. We have a July 4th sale. Use discount code 4th. Yeah, and then you can, so that's it. And have fun. And then you can just say either David or Hello Convo team. All right, so you click this button. Make sure you click this button, which is Save and Close, this gray button here, because they have two Save and Close buttons. You have to click the gray one before you click the blue one. So click the Save and Close here, and then click again the Save and Close, the blue Save and Close button here. And then what you have is your email campaign is now set. What I usually like to do is I like to send a test email. So you can then send a test email to yourself to say, okay, send a test email to admin@helloconvo.com. And so it's just going to send a test email. I can check it in my email to just confirm that everything looks okay. And if it doesn't look okay, you can go back and you can edit it by clicking here to edit design. You can edit whatever changes that you want to change. Say use discount code July. And then you can, again, gray button, save close again, the blue button, and then you click on schedule. Usually I click on schedule, don't send it right away, just click on schedule. With the free plans, what they do is you can set a specific time to send the email. With the paid plans, if you upgrade, you can let Mailchimp optimize time for maximum engagement. And I usually select that feature because they know when people are most likely to open their emails, and so they'll schedule it for that time. So that's what I would do is, but because this is just a free account that I created, I'm just going to say send it at 6 p.m. Eastern time, and then schedule campaign. Right? And so now that's it. It's scheduled. So step 1, you want to create your list. Step 2, you want to add your contacts to your list. Step 3, create and schedule your campaign. So that's the basics of setting up your Mailchimp campaign. I'll be drilling down into more detail around the strategy behind your emails, how to set up more advanced features like automation, so that as soon as someone signs up for a list, they automatically get an email, or when they order a certain product, they get an email. I'll be digging into those other topics down the line. But this is the basics, and make sure you spend time setting up your email lists and sending email, I'd say, at least once a month to your customers so that they know that you're still alive, and you remind them that, hey, I have a business and you probably might want something that I'm selling. So just make sure that you take the time to set up your email list and make sure that you're emailing your customers at least once a month. If this video was valuable to you guys, definitely please give it a like. Subscribe if you want more tips on how to successfully build and run a brand online. And thanks so much for watching this. I will talk to you guys soon.